Okay, so let's get the agents rolled out here so we can start actually doing something and get some machines in the console. So I added a shortcut down here, goes right in, takes us to our portal page. Usually whatever was the last page you were on is what it will open back up to, it'll default to. You'll find you'll end up with a mess of pages open, whatever that last one was is where you're gonna go back. Now, you can deploy agents in so many ways. You can do an AD import, domain membership. You can push the agent. You can do a pull where you have the clients go to a specific web page and they can install from there. There's so many different ways. If you go to push, you can, if you have a text file, save it as a CSV. You can import it here, and then they'll show up in this list, and you can highlight them and click install. You can do a network discovery, add your domain, domain browse list, domain membership. So there's so many ways you could do this. The way I'm going to do it, I'm going to do an AD import. Since this is a test lab and everything in a domain is fine for me to pull in. Now, if you have an environment where you don't want to just hit the whole domain, unless in your AD, if you have your AD broken up, you can also hit based off OU. So import computer, so we're going to use this one, from testlab.local, starting with, see, here's where you could tell it just computers if you wish, or if you had it broken down, choose your OUs. We'll just do that. Import all computers on the schedule. We will do enable monthly for a full. We'll do weekly for an update. So we'll go ahead, we'll save that. Save. And we're going to run. So usually you do it off hours. Over here in the corner you'll see a status, it's going. There we go. Just hit refresh. It's done. Now, if we go, now this is just importing the computers in, it's not rolling them out. So now we're going to go back to agents plugins. We're going to push. And they should be here. Actually, once you do the import in, the computers will not show up on that other page for you to push. So this is a different method. Like I said, there's so many different ways. I more or less want to show you once your environment's up and running, you have the agents out and all that's good. I'm not worried about all the settings. There's so many settings. I want to show you how to push patches, how to deliver software, how to do tasks, gather inventory and all that. So manage computers. So the manage button you'll see has a lot of the functions you're going to use. So manage computers, software, software catalog, users, resources. But down in the lower left, these are called blades. Computer, computer, jobs and tasks, jobs, tasks. So once you get to either computers, jobs, tasks, policies, or software, then you can just navigate from here. Now, all my computers are here, and I see there's a problem with the Altiris server. No connection data. Take a look. Send basic inventory. There we go. So it just didn't get its basic inventory. I do not know why. Refresh this. Now we have a green icon. So these here are now in the console. They have no info. There is nothing. There'll be. Let's see, what does it have? Identification. Yeah, the server gave it a GUID, unique GUID. Does have the operating system. Other than that, they're unmanaged. So now if you go back to the push agent, that's where this comes in, the scheduled push to computers. So as you see now, there's 8 computers. All right, so daily, this will go ahead and install. Let's enable this. Okay, and what you'll see is if you go to one of your client machines, it's going to take a little while to show up because we have it set for daily. I believe we can change that just for right now. We'll go ahead, 9/11, we'll do 9/13. Actually, we can do 9/12. I was thinking we're probably close to the end of that. So we're going to bring up another page, manage computers, because it'll default back to where we were here, which I did not want to go. I want to go to here. Okay, still waiting. Oh, 9/12 just kicked in. Let's see if the server started yet. So a lot of things what you'll find is Altiris notification server is the unless you're using tasks, tasks are a now tool. It's the tech tool. You want to go deliver something now, you want to get inventory now, you want to run a script right now. You can schedule it, but my point is it'll do it now. A lot of the functions of the notification server is meant to schedule it out. You know, usually you got change management going, so you got to wait a little bit. And with waiting means you can set for tonight, tomorrow. And what else is nice by being able to set things like software will actually start caching to the computer now, unless you make the available date, say, let's say you don't want to start caching during the day. You can make the policy available at 8 p.m., but it's not going to install till tomorrow. But it won't start caching till 8 p.m. So here, the Altiris, the install service agent's going. So we just have to wait, and it will finish. Now we should be able to check any other machine. So Windows XP must be SP3. Oh, didn't want to install in the SCCM server, but that's fine. Let's look at our SQL server. I like showing all icons. Let's see, what do we have here? More details. Altiris agent install service is running here too. This is a test environment. It does install quicker on machines. I could pump up the CPU and whatnot on all my test machines. So we're just going to give it some time to run and let it go. And we will be right back. All right, it was only about 5 to 10 seconds, if that, and I already see a lot more going on. I already see the agent icon on my Windows 7 box. I see stuff going on back here on my SQL server. Install pre-check, so this should start having it soon. So like I said, I believe, let's take a look back here. Okay. Now there's no report here. Under reports, there may be a default report that we can look at. Like I said, I'm not usually concerned with a lot of that because this right here will tell me. And once you get further along with reporting and you set reports up, you'll see there's so much in here. So I will take a quick look though. So let's see. Actually, so on the first time setup, I do it the old way because I've been using Altiris so long. But for you, if you go to Home, First Time Setup, which is the first page originally that showed up, there's four steps. 1, discover. 2, agent rollout. 3, gather inventory. 4, schedule patch. So as you see, you could have done unmanaged computers 4 still. You could have done from here, rollout agent. And you just run through the steps. You would turn it on and run through. Take a look. Daily, next. Turn on policies. Okay, so here, this is actually not bad to do it this way. So here's all the various plugins. Here's patch management. Here's software delivery. Here's inventory solution and application metering. Deployment solution is the old deployment server, which was up to 6.9, hotfix 6, maybe higher. And that was the Tech Now tool that we used to love. It had a right click on a computer. You can remote control. It ran off of a client.exe, which is really, really the best remote control I've ever used. So let's take a look. If we hit next, to which environment are you installing? You can set your level, test environment, and you can hit rollout agent and it'll go. But for now, let's refresh this page, see what we got. Still have 4 of them it didn't go to, which is fine with me. I have no problem with that. So, all right, so this page is done. Manage computers. Let's take a look. All right. If we come down to the agent, click update. It does take a little bit of time. So on the server, there is a resource membership update. There are what they call filters, and there's hundreds of them, and then you're going to create hundreds of them. This is where there's a full that runs every day. There's a delta. 5 minutes is a bad idea. I believe we do every hour. I'm going to test lab. I'll leave it here, but you just hit run on the delta. Usually that's where these will kick in. Because what will happen is there's filters for everything. Windows computer missing inventory agent. Windows computer missing application metering agent. Here's policies. We'll run that. Let's check this machine in. Look at that. And now if we come over to our SQL Server, it's going to be the same thing. Now, what you can look at is the intervals every 15 minutes. This computer is going to check in. Like I said, that's a lot. We do until it connects. Now, it grabbed that targeted policy. That was the right here. So depending on what it falls under, all desktop computers, which will be the Windows 7, 8, 10. We don't have a site server yet, so all Windows servers, excluding site servers. And I'll tell you who it applies to, and you can change from target to computer, and this is the 2 servers it's applied to. Okay. Now, I showed you in the first time setup you can enable agents and whatnot. So I could do this one video doing all the agents. I think I'm going to slow down because I am going a little fast. And I will show you under all settings, agents, plugins. These are all the sections we can enable. So this right here is the package for the main agent, the uninstall task, or policy, sorry, site servers. There's going to be an install. All right, upgrade for 64 and 32-bit. So here's our targeted agent. So even though we went through the menu, it still points back here. Software will be both software delivery and patch management. And there's a lot to patch management. Monitoring, agent, discover, inventory. So this will be application metering and inventory. And deployment server agents. So this is where they are. I just want to make sure in this tutorial we just get our client machines checking in. So let's take a look at who is in. Okay, so we have everybody in. We do not have the SCCM, which is good. I'm going to delete this computer out before it gets the agent because I don't want it to have the agent. vCenter is in AD, but I deleted the VM. I'm saying that. I hope I did. Yes, I did. Okay. So when we look through here, we're good, but the Windows 10 LTSB and the Windows XP. So let's take a quick look at those. So we've got a Windows XP. All right. All right. Just log in as me. So this machine, so what we would notice in a remediation step is we would sit here and go, okay, this machine, let's right click it, resource manager. Okay. Where is my, should be this one. All right, so as I said, Service Pack 3 is required. Not sure why it did not. All right, so let's do this. Not sure why the resource manager is not coming up. So what we could do, agents, push. We will come here and let's take a look at okay, computer name. We have Windows XP. So the machine's working. So we'll come over here, Windows XP, add. We click it. Now because it did do an AD import, it did grab some of the info. Click install. Now you can change stuff if you wish. System tray, start menu, add, remove. You can override different defaults. You can change the user it installs under instead of the application credentials from the closest package server. We're good with this, so we're going to say install. And there's a status report. And this will give us what may be going on. Start downloading. Let's take a look. All right, now it's going to install. So I don't know why it did not push from the other method as we did, but what you will notice is we do have this set. You can run this multiple times a day. Here's the catch. you want to make sure that your filters update first. So if you run this every 1 minute and your filters, that job over here was set to run every 5, you're running a job 4 or 5 times that nothing's changed yet. So you don't want to do every minute. Now, let me rephrase it. You don't want to have this set to an hour, let's say, and the other one set to run every 30 minutes. I highly recommend you go to a lot later time. However, when you're first initially rolling this out, it's probably going to be after hours. You're probably going to be in the office. All right. What else did we have in here? I believe it was the LTSB. Oh, clicked on software. All right, Windows 10 LTSB. Let's take a look at that. And even though the machine is not logged in, that is not the reason. It should install whether or not a user is logged in. I uploaded one of my licensing to YouTube. Oh, activate Windows. That may be why, and I am behind the firewall, so I'm going to pause you and activate real quick. Okay, so my LTSB is giving me a hard time. I did upgrade it to the 1607, and there are some known issues with that, so it's not activating for some reason. So anyway, but coming back to our XP box, I just brought it up and looked. I didn't touch a thing. I will update config, no new send basic. Remember, this needs a refresh. But look at this. We're good to go. vCenter is gone. Thought I deleted that. Let's delete that again. Alright, so, as I said, my LTSB. For now, I like keeping a nice clean environment. I'll leave it in there. That's a machine that's not communicating. Down the side, you've got installed agents. That'll get rid of that guy. New computers. You can create new favorites by moving other filters. You can also compress these. So all computers, there's so many. Well, actually, I'm sorry, let me rephrase it. There are a lot if you go to the right location. Here's all the filters, compute. See, now you'll see there's hundreds of items in here. And these are all the items I was telling you about that need to get updated with that Delta update. So you want it to run, but you don't want it to run so often where it never completes. So Windows 10. Come on, I know I clicked on you. And test labs sometimes are not as fast. So there's our 10 box. Windows 8. So we have the agents installed and we have base inventory. We have the basic inventory. If we go back to computers, I'll show you this and then we're going to end here. So if you have a computer, you have right items within right click. You can remote manage, but a lot of these require the additional pieces, the additional agents. But what you can do is on this side, you can open targeted agent settings, and as you saw, I was able to get the inventory. So really, we have nothing in here yet. Oh, another nifty little thing, expand summary view. This will give you items in here also. So we have no quick delivery yet. Manufacturers. Should be able to. Unknown. Operating systems. Quick count of our OSs. Agent health. We're all good. And that's really it. So I mean, this is some of the limited features, as I was saying, you can do with Altiris without any actual agents installed. So I hope that helped somewhat. We're going to end here, and next we'll start with inventory solution because you can't get anywhere until you start inventorying and get a lot of info in on these computers. And to give you an example what I mean by that, if we take our Windows 7 box and go in Resource Manager, there's tons of info in here. As you see, the agents, network info, and once we get the inventory solution set up, you'll start seeing all of your patch management will actually inventory in, and we'll show everything there. But if you go View Inventory, this was just basic inventory. And so you notice there's not a lot here, but there are some things you may find handy. So as you notice, you see these dots, you can click and you can send them to the side. Let's see, location, IP. So you can get some information from here. Let's see what else would be good here. Services. So anything here you can report on. But as you see, there's not a lot here. Wait till we get everything going. There will be a ton of things. All right. Hope that helps.